Hello everybody and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to create space in a 4-2-3-1 formation. And let's get started by talking about formations. When you're looking to create space in your tactic, the first place to start is choosing your formation. And some formations will naturally have more space in them based on how they're set up. A 4-3-3, for example, has open space in the attacking midfield area. A 3-5-2 has space out on the flanks. On the other hand, the 4-2-3-1 formation, which is what we're looking at today, doesn't really have any open space. That's one of the benefits of this formation. We have coverage across the field. We have 2 center backs, 2 defensive midfielders, a pair on each flank, and then the attacking midfield and striker pair. But like everything in Football Manager, there is a trade-off. With this much coverage in the formation, there's not a lot of natural open space, which means it can be easy to clog areas of the field, specifically the midfield, with your player roles. So you want to build a tactic that can create space for your players. Which brings me to the point of this video. How do you create space in a formation that doesn't have a lot of it? Well, one of my favorite ways to create space in a 4-2-3-1 is with variety. Using variety when making a tactic means you're creating different attacking and supporting options from different levels of your formation, like your midfield, defensive midfield, or even defensive backline areas. This makes it more difficult for your opponents to track your runs, which means your attack is more unpredictable. Okay, we want to create variety in our tactic, but how do we do that? Well, in the next section, we're going to check out some player roles. Here's our 4-2-3-1 formation, and we're going to start at the top with the striker. For choosing a striker role, you have a ton of options, but for me, there's no better role than the poacher at creating space for his teammates. This is my goalie about to start our possession. We win the initial header and then quickly get it out wide. This player here is the poacher, and he's going to make a run straight to the front of the goal. This will force their defender here to track back and mark him. This leaves open space for my player here. Sitting behind the striker is the attacking midfield position, and this is where you want to think about the synergy between this role and what you've chosen for the striker. Generally, with this partnership, there are 2 playstyles. You have the traditional striker that focuses on scoring, like a poacher or advanced forward, and you pair that with a playmaker, like the advanced playmaker Enganche or Trequartista. The other is that you have the striker be more focused on playmaking, like a deep-lying forward or false 9, and then you pair that with a more scoring-focused attacking midfielder, like the shadow striker or attacking midfielder on attack. Since we already have a poacher in our tactic, and I love that traditional number 10 role in this formation, we're going to use the advanced playmaker. Using a 10 role in this formation can be tricky, since they're going to be in a highly congested area of the field. But this is why I love using a poacher, because the poacher can clear out space, which the advanced playmaker can take advantage of. The playmaker will get the ball, and the poacher will make a forward run and keep this defender occupied. And the advanced playmaker, well, will make a play. Next, let's move on to the midfield roles. Because we have 2 of them, it's good practice to have one role be more adventurous and one role be more passive. This is so we can have that attacking option from the midfield. For this tactic, I've gone with the segundo volante on support and the defensive midfielder on defend. This is my advanced playmaker on the ball attacking to the right. My segundo volante has pushed up in the attack, sitting in the half space. When the ball goes out wide, he's there to support my wing player, and you can see the open space this ball movement has created. While this is going on, the defensive midfielder on defend is sitting back, providing our cover in the midfield while the players have pushed up. The segundo volante will get the hockey assist. Next, let's look at the center backs. For this tactic, I've gone with the libero, who will help in the midfield, and the central defender, who will make safe, simple passes. We are on the counter-attack on the wing, and this is the libero supporting the midfield. This is a role that loves to push forward when you have the ball, and his runs create a dynamic option for your team. And finally, we're going to look at the flank positions, and this is where variety can really help your tactic. So on the left flank, I've used one of my favorite role combinations, the inside forward and the wingback. The inside forward provides a primary scoring threat from a wider area, and the wingback will be an aggressive option down the flank and keep our width. Right now my player is on the ball at the top of the screen and attacking to the left. Here's the inside forward on support, and this is the wingback on attack. The play starts and we get the ball into our playmaker in the attacking midfield. The inside forward gets the ball and attacks the box, while the wingback follows up behind the play. The wingback gets the rebound and the inside forward gets a typical inside forward shot away. I usually don't have mirrored flanks, meaning the same roles on each side, so on the right flank, I've gone with the Raumdeuter and an inverted fullback. The Raumdeuter excels at finding space and is one of the most dynamic passing options you can use out on the flank. Their weakness is the lack of defensive contributions, so the inverted fullback will focus up on shoring our defensive backline. This is my sweeper keeper on the ball, and here's the Raumdeuter, and this is the inverted fullback. Their positioning starts in the 4-2-3-1 shape. When the sweeper keeper kicks it long and we start our possession, the segundo volante is sitting on the ball. The inverted fullback is sitting tucked inside to help the central defender, and the Raumdeuter has gone out very wide, separating himself from the team, which is a staple of the role. When the Raumdeuter gets the ball, he's going to look for the poacher. Now that we have all our player roles, let's head to Argentina and look at our team example. As we've been looking at highlights, all of them have been without team instructions. And that's because when I start a tactic, I like to go without team instructions so I can see how the formation and player roles are interacting with each other. But what do you want to do after you have your player roles and your formation and you want to start adding in team instructions? And the main thing you want to think about is where is the weakness in your tactic and can you help alleviate some of that weakness? Well, let's look at our team example for today, River Plate in Argentina. Looking at the formation again, our tactic has a lot of players moving from a defending position to an attacking position. And specifically, we have two roles on our back line getting forward when we have the ball. This has given us variety in our attack, but it can also cause issues in the counter-transitional phase, like if we lose the ball. So I want to tell my team to retain possession, limit riskier passes, and move it quickly so no one is caught on the ball. This will help protect that transitional phase by not giving the opponent any cheap counterattacks. To do this, I've used the positive mentality to tell the team to retain possession a little more. In addition, I've used shorter passing and a higher tempo to limit those risky passes but still move the ball quickly. Let's do a highlight breakdown to see how the formation, player roles, and team instructions all work together. We pick up the play with our throw-in, outside the opponent's goal. As we start our possession, notice the shorter passing and higher tempo. No player spends too much time on the ball, except for the playmaker who is given that freedom. I'm going to pause here with my player on the ball and show the different player roles, and also why using the shorter passing and higher tempo is so imperative to this attacking shape. Because this is the attacking shape I want, but the lack of traditional fullbacks means our flanks are exposed in those deeper positions. This is why I use those team instructions to make sure we're playing safer passes and no one is caught on the ball. We've created space in the midfield area, which the libero has moved into. The poacher has this defender occupied. The roundoider loves to exploit this kind of space, and we get the goal. Let's watch the highlight again in full speed and pay attention to our passing style, where we look to retain possession until a breakthrough occurs. My final thoughts about building a tactic like this is that it's so much fun to create your own and see it come to life by scoring a goal. But if you do make a tactic like this, sadly the one thing I can promise you is that you will lose matches, because no tactic is perfect and sometimes things just don't go your way. But if you can work through those frustrations, which you will have, there is nothing more rewarding in Football Manager than creating your own tactic from scratch and seeing it succeed. And on that topic, don't feel like you have to use the player roles that I've used in this video. Here on YouTube, I've set up playlists to where you can watch the different positional groups and what player roles are involved. Check those out and see what different kinds of roles you may like to use. If you didn't like the roles that I used in my tactic, try something else and see what works for you. And as we wrap up the video, a friendly reminder that I now have a Patreon account if you would like to support the channel. And on that page is a free link to our Discord server where we're talking about Football Manager. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.